Hi everyone, I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about frugal living, saving money, decluttering, and some depression era advice and trends that I learned from my parents. So as you know, I grew up in rural Kansas. It's about an hour to the nearest city. And you could say that maybe I was a little bit sheltered by that. In fact, I think in the era that I grew up, I absolutely was. We didn't know a lot about programs that were there to help people if they were struggling. I didn't know about food banks. I didn't know about WIC. I didn't know about any of those things that are easier to access nowadays than they were back then. And when I grew up, my parents used cash for everything. They didn't have any type of credit. And so that's how I was raised. And I really didn't know about credit. I really didn't understand credit. And so I lived like that for a long time, just using cash to pay for everything. Now, if you do that nowadays, many people would struggle because many people have to spend more than they make to be able to make ends meet based on where they live, what kind of house they have, what kind of car they drive, what kind of food they buy. All of those things factor into whether or not you can live on the income that you're bringing in without using credit. So I thought I would talk today a little bit about how broke I have really been in the past. And I think that plays into me being careful and saving now because I have hit rock bottom before. I've been there. And if you've ever hit rock bottom and you don't know where your next meal is coming from or how you're going to pay your electric bill, those things impact you and impact your decisions going forward. At one point, I had a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and we only had toast and butter, and I let them eat it. I went without. So I call that rock bottom. And like I said, no food stamps, no WIC, no credit, no anything. And that's where I was at. So that played into a lot of my decisions going forward. For instance, even after I got a credit card, I continued to pay cash because I was really scared of that credit card. I really didn't understand how it worked. I didn't know if I could make the payments if I used it. I didn't want to overextend myself. And I worked for minimum wage, $3.35 an hour. And my house payment was only $149 back then. But I drove 20 miles each way to work. I paid cash for everything. And even with my house payment being $145, with what I was making and having small children, I struggled to make ends meet. There was a lot of macaroni and cheese. There was a lot of hot dogs. There was a lot of peanut butter and jelly. A lot of those really simple, cheap meals to get by. And I ended up doing a lot of things for extra money just to try to get extra money into my household. I donated plasma at one point just to be able to pay my babysitter so I could go to work. I remember my dad saying, just go on welfare, it'll be easier. And I said, no, if I do that, I will never get out of the hole that I'm in because you can't find a babysitter and a job at the same time. And if you do find a babysitter, they're going to want to be paid before I get my first check. So I didn't want to give up my job because I knew that was the only way I was ever going to get out of the situation I was in. So I donated plasma regularly just so I had money to pay the babysitter. Now, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I just want you to know where I came from, why I do the things I do today, because I get told by a lot of people, you're not living your best life. Well, you know, I am. I have savings. I have everything that I need. I don't want for much. I do take vacations. That's one thing that's really important to me. And I want to have my bills paid, and I want to have that security of knowing that I have money if I need it. So this is not a video for you to feel bad for me. This is a video for you to understand that if you are where I've been, you can get out of that mess. Don't give up hope. It is possible. It totally happened for me with determination, and it can happen for you too. I would also walk and pick up aluminum cans, and I would smash them, put them in trash bags, and haul them in for recycling payments. I use that for extra cash along with my plasma money. And I would do this with my kids, and it was a thing we would do together. We would walk together and pick up aluminum cans out of the ditch. I got so rock bottom that I had some $2 bills, which were very rare, and I had pressed them in some of my books, and I even had to get those out and use them so that we could purchase things. I also used some old coins that I had saved. I hawked things at one point, so I had money to buy groceries. And I went in with the knowledge that I would not be able to pay to get these things back. But that was okay because I needed that cash. I would clean my car and look for any spare change that might have fallen under my seats. I sold books at resale shops that would pick through my books, give me some cash back, and I would have some extra money for gas. Nowadays, you can also sell board games, video games, all kinds of things online. I didn't have that back then. There wasn't any way to do that. I also would have yard sales regularly, hoping that I could make an extra $20 or $30, even in the country, so that I would have some spare money to be able to get through the next few days. I clipped coupons. I used those to try to buy things cheaper than I would have normally bought them to save a little money. Now there's ways we can do online surveys, play online games for money, do rebates, sell things online through Marketplace on Facebook, through eBay, and all of the other sites right from our own home to be able to make a little bit of spare extra cash. None of those things were available to me back then. So these are some of the things that I did back in the 80s when I needed extra money. So if you are struggling, please, please, please don't give up. Use some of those resources that are available to you now that I didn't have access to back then. There's no reason for people to struggle as much as I did, and I really hope that you are not in that place. If you want more tips on how to save money, please follow me, subscribe, and share this video, and I would love to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching today.